Welcome to a new episode of BrainNet Executive Talks. Today we will talk about the elevator industry and a corporate procurement organization allocated in Shanghai, China. Sitting next to me, we have Jochen Weyandt, Senior Vice President and Head of Corporate Purchasing from Schindler. Schindler Group is a leading global provider of elevators, escalators and related services with a strong footprint in China since 1980. Welcome, Jochen.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share our findings and learnings.
Jochen, Schindler's strategy is to grow significantly in Asia, in particular in China. Can you fill us into what makes procurement particularly challenging in your industry and this situation?
Our strategic focus is on the two significant growth markets, which is India and China. China by far is one of the biggest elevator markets and escalator market in the world. So which is representing more than 50 to 60% of the global new installation market. So therefore, I think after the, let's say, obvious numbers in the new installation business, the size of the market, the dominance of the markets, and also the leading elements which the market will provide for the future of our business, it was immediately decided that we relocate group functions, in that case corporate purchasing, into the Chinese market in order to be closer to the supply market, to the innovations, in order to gain all the synergies for our global business.
What have you at Schindler done over the last years to overcome these challenges?
We have started in 2009 to rethink the complete overall strategic roadmap for procurement and supply within the group. And as a first, let's say, vital step in that approach, we have started to build up international sourcing offices in India, in the border to Mexico, in McAllen, Texas, and also to approach China in a completely different way. In parallel, we have built up a sourcing office also in Prague. At that time, I think the focus was quite balanced and the markets have been more mature. Over the time when we started to develop it and also was exploring the first synergies and opportunities, we identified significant opportunities out of the Chinese market, which was mainly driven to the market size. So therefore, I think as a next consequent step, we then decided to relocate a complete group function into it in order to be closer to the market and to its suppliers.
Jochen, reflecting your experience, what are the main challenges from a procurement organizational perspective, in particular in terms of HR?
The challenges are manifold. I think going back to, let's say, how we have done it, I think after the decision I decided to announce it more or less in a very close, timely manner. After the digestion of the organization, of accepting the change or arguing the change, which was more the case in some cases, we have decided on a very fast change period. The reason for that was we had to keep the operation running because I think one thing is to relocate the organization, the other thing is still to provide the expected performance to the overall organization, which was one of the key challenges. Reflecting to the people, we offered to everybody to come to China, but for various reasons, private reasons, step in the career, maturity of the organization, we could attract some key players, and we have built a concept or the organization set up in a way that we have more or less a 50-50 ratio out of experienced Schindler people, either from the standing organization at that time in Switzerland or from other entities around the world. So we have Brazilians, Colombians, Americans, but also Chinese global citizens, as I call them, in order to provide the service for the Schindler global perspective. The challenge here, the war for talent, is huge. So I think this is a completely different marketplace than on the Lake of Lucerne. I think to attract the right people, to find the right people, I think was and is a constant challenge. And we have put a lot of measures in place in order to provide the right foundation to be successful. But the real challenge will be now to bring to that new organization the Schindler DNA in order to provide the same success as we had before with the existing organization based in Switzerland.
Jochen, let's talk about distances and new interfaces. How tight is the cooperation from corporate purchasing located in China with other corporate functions like R&D in Switzerland?
The build-up and the collaboration from especially corporate R&D, our research and development function, and the group function corporate purchasing is a quite synchronized approach. So apart from building and relocating or investing in group functions in China from a purchasing point of view, our colleagues from R&D are doing a significant exercise here as well in order to provide us midterm the expected service what we need. Because I think without the close synchronization between R&D and purchasing, I think we cannot be successful. I think there's no doubt about it. So therefore the group has decided also to invest significantly in R&D here in China, but also in India. On top, we have defined an operating model. How do we operate with our stakeholders in Europe, which are mainly based in Switzerland, the key stakeholders are in the United States, which is currently under test. And we are optimizing it on a daily basis, also considering the big time zone differences, which we have in the moment, 7 to 13 hours, which is challenging for everybody because we are not in the middle of the world anymore. We are now far east, and we have a lot of challenges in order to keep the motivation, to keep the know-how and the information flow running.
This sounds like a lot of change was required at Schindler to make this all happen. A while ago we talked about CPOs being change agents. Has this become really true for you now?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the role of procurement has changed significantly in the last couple of years. And I think procurement leaders have to provide in these days a lot of change to the organization, but also to their partners. I think we have a vital role in the success of our company. We are managing the costs. We have to provide the right foundation for it. So I would say, yes, we are change agents. So the orchestration, of our internal stakeholders, but also the implementation of our key strategic partners, I would say is one of the key elements of the change. Apart from the human resources, new responsibilities, operating model, which we discussed before, this is the key element of the change going forward, and which will be the foundation to be successful at the end with that significant change which we are managing in the moment.
Jochen, these were very impressive and interesting insights into Schindler's challenges here in China. Thank you for sharing with us your experience and thoughts.
You're most welcome. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity, to share some of our experiences and also to provide some insights, how we have managed the change.